Peter Gilgan had humble beginnings growing up in Etobicoke, Ontario.
Just an average middle-class family, one of 7 children.
Peter first embarked on a career in accounting, earning his CA accreditation in the early 70s and garnering valuable business lessons through his relationships with his clients.
I think a couple of the things I learned, one really interesting was that not all profitable businesses are fun. Business can't be just about making a profit. If it's going to be sustainable, if you're going to feel good about yourself and want to get up every day and do it, for the first 10 years you can do anything, but for the next 30 years you better do something you like.
In 1978, Peter ventured into business for himself with Mattamy Homes, a business named after his first 2 children. He began small with 2 lots in Burlington.
It wasn't a giant leap, it was a whole bunch of small steps. And you know, there's something about starting business when you're 27 and with having a professional degree to fall back on, and you sort of say, well, what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is by 30 I'll know I didn't make it, and I'll make a nice living and be able to support my family as a chartered accountant.
Mattamy Homes has since grown to become one of the most successful home building companies in North America, with locations in Ontario, Alberta, and throughout the United States. Over the years, they've built over 50,000 homes in more than 150 communities and transformed into a multi-billion-dollar privately owned company.
When he builds a home, he wants to provide the very best home. He wants to meet every one of their expectations and exceeds them. You know, he wants to build a community. He doesn't build a home, he builds a community.
Since Mattamy built its first home, the company's master planned communities have become renowned for their unique designs and wide variety of architecture styles. Mattamy is a recognized leader in homeowner satisfaction by the prestigious J.D. Power and Associates.
Our vision is to be the best home building brand in North America.
It's only recently that Peter established a board of directors at Mattamy, a rare move for a private company.
When you grow to the scale that we are, and particularly when you look at our plans for future growth, you really come to realize that the organization should not be dependent on one guy at the top, because you know, anything can happen.
In addition to being a successful entrepreneur, Peter is very focused on healthy living, and in particular, the love of cycling.
One of the cool things about cycling is that you meet people from so many walks of life. In many cases, your common interest is only the bike, but in lots of other cases, you find you have many other common interests, and I've developed some wonderful friendships with folks that I might otherwise have never met if it wasn't for this excuse called a bicycle.
As with many entrepreneurs, Peter is driven to give back to the community that supported him.
Yeah, I call it active philanthropy, and it's more than just giving money. It's making every effort to try and inspire other people to become involved as well, showing your level of commitment.
There are very few people that see the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of millions that actually act on it.
Many of his philanthropic ventures center around his 2 passions of healthy living and building communities. His projects include major gifts to the Sick Kids Center for Research and Learning in Toronto, a new world-class velodrome in Milton, Ontario, and repurposing the old Maple Leaf Gardens into Ryerson University's newest athletic center.
I just felt, you know, it's such a historically significant building. To be able to save it and repurpose it and be involved in that would be really cool. And you know, when you walk in that building now that it's finished, it's everything I thought it would be and more.
So his focus was not really on the design. He was more interested in what would be the activity in there and how it would help people generally in their health.
And with Sick Kids, I mean, it literally is a world-class facility now, but when we do the research and learning tower and finish it, it'll be #1 research facility for children's health in the world. I mean, it's just, here it is in Toronto. Like, it's a spectacular thing that's being built there.
To his friends, he is known as a generous man.
He's warm, he's friendly, he's giving. He's the most generous guy I know, not just in monetary terms, in his time and how he relates to people. He just wants people to feel welcome.
If you asked, is there any great mentors in Peter's lives? The mentors in his lives have really been everybody around him. He learns from his employees, he learns from suppliers, he learns from customers. He absorbs all of this stuff. It's like osmosis, and he brings it in. And when he sees a need for something, he just fills it.
To me, I'm very inspired by the folks I work with. I'm very inspired by my family, my children, my siblings, my mom, who's still with us, are all very, very inspirational to me. I think the answer, what motivates me in life, is to be around great people. It's hugely important to me. I'm driven to be successful. I keep being told that, so it must be true. I don't see it that way. I just see it as like a normal wiring diagram, but others say, yeah, you seem to be really pretty driven.
Please welcome Peter Gilgan, 2013 inductee as companion into the Order of the Canadian Business Hall of Fame.